Now, very important section. What nullifies wiping over the khuf? So you wiped over your khuf. What nullifies your wudu now? So anything which nullifies wudu in general nullifies wudu if you are wiping over your socks. If someone wiped over their socks to do wudu, what breaks their wudu? Whatever normally breaks their wudu, that would break their wudu. With addition that if someone takes off their khuffain, if you wiped over them and then you take them off, or one of them off, or one of them a little bit off, or most of your feet out of it, I would say because Hanafis, if there was a rip, the Hanafis allow the 3 small toes of the feet, that much rip overall over the 2 khuffain to be excused if they were a little bit ripped there and there. So they said if that much was exposed, they can be excused. Maliki said up to 1/3 of a feet can be excused. So in general, we can say if you expose more than 1/3, then most of the fuqaha should say that wudu has been invalidated because of that. Someone asked me last time, if someone was wearing 2 socks, or double khuffain, or double jorabain, or jarmouk, or if someone was wearing one over the other, okay, and then they wiped on the top one. You were wearing double socks. You wiped over the top one for your wudu. And then you took off only the top one. Not all of them. This will invalidate your wudu. Because that's the one you wiped on and that's the one you took off. So there are 2 options now. Either if you are in wudu already, if you are in wudu and you have wiped over your socks, you took the top one off and you wiped over the bottom one straight away, you are in the wudu for the rest of the body, not in hadath. If you're in hadath, you need to do wudu all over anyway. But if you done whole wudu, you wiped over your double socks, and then you said, it's too hot, so you took one of them off, then you must wipe on the first one again. Otherwise, the wiping socks is gone. This is the how do they know that? Because Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has done the what's called jarmouk. Jarmouk is bigger than, I think, in our times, how we wear wellies, right? We usually have something worn in the feet and like socks, and then we wear wellies, right? You can do masa on the wellies. You can. But if you take them off, you have socks inside. That will invalidate your wudu because you didn't do the masa on the socks. You did on the wellies. That's what we call them, wellies, the big ones. Why do Hanafis allow the use of double socks? Because they say Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did masa on jarmouk, and jarmouk is usually worn over socks. So that would indicate that you can. And Shafi'is, they don't look at it that way. They say you can't wear double socks and do masa on it. Because they say one socks is the badal, is a replacement of your feet, which is proven. And then the next socks is the replacement of a replacement. And there is no replacement of a replacement in their madhab. Or in fiqh view, if you look at it that way, you don't replace the replacement with a replacement. So washing had a replacement of masah on socks, and then you put another on it. So they don't like that view, as far as I understand, Allahu Alam. But in general, the other fuqaha, they don't mind someone doing wudu over, especially Malikis and Hanafis, they allow it. If you wore khuffain and then you wore something on top of it, another khuffain. And then what else nullifies your wiping over? Let's say I I did wudu right now and I was wearing khuffain, which I had worn after in tahara, so I just wiped over them right now and I have got brand new fresh wudu. But the time ran out because I wore this khuffain last night this time. Understand? Am I making sense? So if someone's got really fresh wudu and they just wiped over their feet, but the time ran out, the 3 days and 3 nights have passed for the traveler, or 1 day, 1 night has now passed. So that passing of time, except for the Malikis, the other fuqaha, the other schools, Shafi'is, Hanbalis and Hanafis, they say the passing of time will nullify the wiping. If he's already in wudu, the only thing which nullifies his wudu is wiping of the feet, the time has run out. He must take his feet out and wash them. If he is in wudu, just wash them straight away and he doesn't need to do the full wudu.